Have you ever twisted your ankle, gotten a bad cut, or had a nasty splinter? The area probably turned red, felt hot, swelled up, and hurt a lot. To people thousands of years ago, it looked exactly like the body part was on fire. That simple observation gave us the word inflammation. Inflammation is a huge topic in medicine today. Scientists study it in labs, and doctors see it in patients every day. But the story of the word starts with something anyone could notice. No fancy equipment needed. Let's travel back in time and see how this important idea began, and why it matters more and more for your health. Where the word comes from. The English word inflammation comes from Latin. The Latin verb inflammare means to set on fire, or to kindle. It is connected to the word flamma, which just means flame. The noun inflammatio described the act of lighting something on fire. Over time, doctors borrowed this word to talk about what happens when body tissue gets red, warm, swollen, and painful. By the early 1400s, English writers were already using inflammation in a medical way. They meant too much redness or swelling in a body part. The word was not trying to be fancy or poetic. It was a practical description based on what doctors actually saw. How ancient doctors described it. Long before microscopes or blood tests, doctors paid close attention to the human body. When someone got injured or sick, they noticed 4 clear signs. Redness, called rubor in Latin. Heat, called calor in Latin. Swelling, called tumor in Latin. And pain, called dolor in Latin. These 4 signs are usually credited to a Roman doctor named Aulus Cornelius Celsus, who lived around the 1st century CE. Later, teachers added a 5th sign, loss of function. That means the injured part just doesn't work as well, like you can't walk easily on that swollen ankle. Why did the fire idea fit so perfectly? Redness looks like flames. Heat feels like burning. Swelling makes the area feel tight and full, almost like something is building pressure inside. Pain is the body's loud alarm telling you, hey, protect this spot. Think about a bee sting or a sprained wrist. You automatically baby that area. That reaction is smart. It's part of your body's built-in repair system. What inflammation really is today. Modern science has gone way beyond the fire metaphor, but the old picture still helps us understand. Inflammation is not actual fire. It is your body's emergency defense team. Here's what happens step by step when something goes wrong. 1. Tissue gets damaged, maybe by bacteria, a cut, a bruise, chemicals, or heat. 2. The damaged cells release chemical signals, like tiny alarm bells. 3. Blood vessels near the area get wider and leak a little fluid. This brings in immune cells and healing proteins. And 4. The extra blood and fluid cause the redness, heat, swelling, and pain we all recognize. In short, inflammation is your body's quick response crew. It rushes in to clean up the mess, fight germs, and start repairs. If you get a paper cut, inflammation helps stop bleeding and keep infection away. If a splinter pokes your finger, inflammation works to push that invader out. If you catch a cold or stomach bug, inflammation calls immune cells exactly where they're needed. Your immune system is like a huge security network protecting you from bacteria, viruses, and other troublemakers. Inflammation is one of its most important tools. The good side and the dangerous side. Fire is a great example of why balance matters. A small, controlled fire can cook your dinner or warm your house on a cold night, but a wildfire can destroy everything. Inflammation works the same way. Short-term, acute inflammation is usually helpful. It protects you, fights invaders, and helps healing. Once the danger is gone, the inflammation calms down and the tissue repairs itself. You feel better, and life goes on. However, short-term inflammation can become dangerous if it is too intense. When the fire burns too hot or spreads too wildly, it can damage healthy tissue around the injury. In severe cases, this overreaction can lead to serious problems or even death. So while acute inflammation is usually your friend, it is not always perfectly safe. Long-term, chronic inflammation causes even more trouble. When inflammation stays on too long, happens in the wrong places, or turns against your own body, it can slowly damage healthy organs over months or years. This kind of ongoing fire is linked to many serious illnesses. Common diseases connected to inflammation. Doctors now know that problems with inflammation play a role in lots of conditions you've probably heard about. Arthritis, Joints become swollen and painful. Everyday movements hurt. Asthma. The airways in your lungs get inflamed and narrow, making it hard to breathe. Inflammatory bowel disease. The digestive tract stays irritated, causing stomach pain and other problems. In these cases, inflammation is no longer just a short emergency response. It becomes a long burning process that harms healthy parts of the body. Actually, biomedical researchers and physicians increasingly realize that most human diseases, if not all, have a component of inflammation. Inflammation in these diseases may be prominent or subtle, direct or indirect. Why the old word still matters. The ancient fire image is powerful because it reminds us that inflammation is not simply bad. It is one of the body's most basic survival systems. Without it, a tiny cut could turn into a life-threatening infection, and injuries would never heal properly. At the same time, the word warns us that this powerful response must be controlled. The old meaning, visible heat, redness, swelling, and pain, matches what we feel. The modern meaning, blood vessels changing, immune cells rushing in, chemical signals flying around, shows the incredible biology happening inside. So inflammation carries two ideas at once. It is like a fire alarm, a repair crew, and sometimes the fire itself. When it works right, it warns you, brings help, and supports healing. When it burns too hot or keeps burning after the danger has passed, it can cause serious harm. Looking ahead. As scientists learn more about inflammatory diseases, they keep discovering new details about cytokines, antibodies, white blood cells, and how everything connects. Yet the simple idea from thousands of years ago still rings true. Inflammation is your body's inner flame, necessary for protection, risky when it gets out of control, and connected to health problems that affect millions of people. Next time you have a sore throat, a swollen knee, or any injury, remember the story behind the word. Your body is doing exactly what it has done for centuries, sending its emergency team to help. Understanding that balance, when to let the fire do its job and when to calm it down, is one of the keys to staying healthy in today's world. Inflammation started as something people could see and feel. Over hundreds of years, science turned that simple observation into deep knowledge about the immune system. The original metaphor still teaches us something important. Our bodies are amazing, and keeping that inner flame under control can make all the difference. If you find this episode helpful, please share it with someone you care about.